Welcome everyone, this is Gwydion. Today I'm not sure I'm going to publish this video. This might just be on Alex T's Black Oath Entertainment Discord and maybe mine as well. But I feel like I'm pretty well through, maybe a little more touch up with a free Sojour module for Choir of Flesh. So I'll try to show you as quickly as I can what I've done. So those of you who don't know Sojour, I have a bunch of videos on it, but it's a very cool solo oriented, solo focused VTT. So let's see, how do I want to go through this? There's a ton to go through, but let me start with the character sheet. So maybe that's a good place to start. So if you look at characters, I put the name as Unbroken. So you can see I've got the key characteristics: minor injuries, major injuries, defense, and movement. And I do have a character sheet. And if I make this a little bit bigger, actually, you know what? It's easier to look at the character sheet down here under documents. You can see, toggle into this. And this is the alternative character sheet. There's already a form fillable character sheet available, but I made the font a little bigger. I automated a few things. I have some drop downs in here where it makes sense. Like, actually, there we go. So drop down on like modifiers and what else? I have drop downs like on the improvements. So they're just a couple of quality of life things. Sin that defines you. This is again a drop down. So you can use the one from Alex T as well, but this is in here so you can track your character sheet that way. Let's see. I also have, it's really important under documents, I do have a please read copyright. Obviously, I want people to buy Choir of Flesh. I'm not doing this to give it away for free. I want people to see this, say, oh, this is another great way, easy way for me to play the game. Let's go buy it. This is not a direct hyperlink, but you can copy it, drop it in, and go buy Choir of Flesh. And then also I use some tokens in here, and I am allowed to use those. I'm using a Creative Commons license for the tokens I'm using. So, all right. I did put in, I'm going to have to ask Alex on this. I'll show him this video first. But the Call of Cthulhu, the Choir of Flesh gameplay procedures that he released as part of the game, I did put those in here. This isn't the full text, but I thought maybe having just the PDF with the basics in here would be helpful, but not enough, hopefully, for somebody to play the full game. So I might leave that, or I might take it out if he wants. Another thing, if you want to roll dice, and this is just purely for visual, there is a release enhancement coming up for Sojour that will tie this, what I'm about to show you, directly into the table rolling. But right now, if you double click on this dice roller, 3D dice, it'll open to this page. It looks weird. Click on this link. I know it looks strange, but just click on it. And then this will embed the 3D dice roller into Sojour. So, I mean, it's nice because then you can hide it. And if you want to bring it back, you can bring it back. But it's just a way, like if I want to roll a D20, click on the D20, hit roll, and you've got some visual dice. And I don't know, I enjoy it. But the real power is going to be when this rolls into the table. So let me show you that for a second. I tried to create almost all of the tables except for the ones that are more of the solo enhancements, things that were more around like oracles and that type of thing. I didn't include those. Maybe I can add them later, but I didn't include those. But this shows you, like, for character creations, your drawbacks, your sins, former life, everything I could think of is in here. And the way you'll roll on these is you'll open a journal. I already have a new page here. You can see the tab here. But up here at the top, there is a combat procedure that I'll show you. But here are the tables, and so you'll have to scroll down to them. But like if I want to go to the sin that defines you, I click on that, and then I just click on this button, play, and there you go. All of the text is in here. Every table that I could think of is listed in here, and now you have this in your journal. So it kind of outputs right to your journal. I think that's cool. And again, in the future, you'll be able to roll on the 3D dice table. It'll read this table that's open, so you'll kind of have the best of both worlds. I know there's not super satisfying to me to just hit a button and see the result, but it works. Right here's servants of the choir, so I can type in or hit play for that, and you can see that. So anything that's a table in here, you'll be able to use this and it'll show up. All right, let's go into combat grid for a second. And I might have to look at the rules again. So I just copied this in as a JPEG. So I am pulling up the PDF on my other screen because I want to remember what happens for combat and what you have to look at. So let's see. You're going to look at the number of unique terrain features. So like always, there's a table for that. You can come back here, click on terrain feature, and that I think I want to go to number of unique. Let's see, number of unique terrain features. So I roll that and it says 5 terrain features. So I must have rolled an 11 or a 12. So I would then put 5 terrain features in. So if I want to go find those, click on terrain features and I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so you can see here, the first one is a writhing mass. And I think there's a way, see, I don't remember where you put these, but let's not worry for a moment. This isn't really a playthrough. It's just more to show you how you can use this. So let's go to our assets. And if you look up here under campaign assets, I have terrain in a folder. So if you expand this, you can see all of these. So the first one was writhing mass. So let's just say it goes into B2. I don't know if that's right. I can left click, drag and hold, and I'm going to drop it up in the corner because wherever I drop it, it's going to stay. So now I made these as static, so I didn't like accidentally click on them and move them. So you can't move them, but if you hover over it, it'll say writhing mass. And if I double click on it, it'll open up and show you the description of the writhing mass. So again, if I go back here, you have the description here, and it does tell you what happens, it does tell you that if you end your turn there, you must pass a will check. But then let's look at cursed idol. So here's cursed idol. Let's say that goes here. I'm just going to put it in the left-hand corner. Again, just so I know that in that corner is the feature. And again, double click on it and you have all this. You can also, if your eyes are bad like me, you can make that bigger and you can see the text right there. The other thing you will be able to do is so that's all the terrain. You kind of get that gist. I won't put all 5 in. These others are for other parts of the game. So let's hold on that. But let's drop in my character, the Unbroken. So I'm going to left click, hold and drag. I don't know where he's supposed to start for now. So I'm just going to drag him there. But now you can see it shows up at the top left of my screen and I can move this one around. So I can move this, but then I don't accidentally drag the terrain features. And I can always right click and delete these tokens if needed. So I'm going to put my guy here. And let's say that I'm fighting against a creature. So let's go down under documents and go into the bestiary. And let's find, I don't know, a flesh worm. Okay, so this part is text. So the way I did this, if you double click on this, I brought in the image and I brought in the entire table. So you can kind of keep this anywhere on your screen you want, but at least that tells you all of the information that you need in kind of an easy to read section or page. So I can minimize that. Let's close the bestiary. Now let's go to our tokens. So if I go down here and double click, it's a little hard to see here, so I'm going to have to hover over these, but I'm looking for the flesh. What is it called? The flesh worm. So here's the flesh worm. So if I left click, let's just say he starts down here. I don't know where he's supposed to start, but I drug him down there and you can see that's flesh worm. If I double click on it, right click, and you can have actual bars to show some of your key statistics. So like if I go back to mine up here, I think I have to do it up on the map. I always have to remember. And let's see if I have my characteristics. Let's open the character sheet. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Edit token. Yeah, here we go. So here are the characteristics. So right now I'm at 0 injuries, 0 movement should be 2. So I'll put 2. I don't remember what my defense is. Let's just put 3. And so we'll say okay. So now you see these that do have a number on it show up. And if I do need to increase, like I don't know why it doesn't. I would have thought it would shown, even though these are 0, I would have thought it would have shown it. So I have to look at that later. But now I can mouse wheel and increase or decrease these, or just have them as a little hover over. So I know defense 3, move 2. And for the flesh worm, I can do the same. So let's edit that token. And once you roll, and there's a mechanic for doing this, determining what all these are, but let's just say defense is 2, movement is 2. And so that case, that should have alter on map characteristics. I don't know why that one didn't show up. I wonder if I didn't say, but let's do that. On map characteristics. So I'm going to say defense 2, movement 2. Let's just say he has a minor injury. I don't know. Or the other way you can do this is you can start with the max and say it's 4. I have it backwards. Maybe it's something like 8, and then major is 4. So you can start there and then count down. So you can see this, and then I can drag. I can just hover over this, and then if needed, I need to remember how to move the map, but you get the idea. And you can move these around again. You can make this bigger if you want, but you have a way to do combat right on the map here. All right, so let's get rid of that for a second, and let's go to the incursion grid. So this is a big part of the game. So I put this in here, and a couple ways you can do this. This is just a static image, but you will be, if I can find my PDF page here, the incursion. Okay, so you're going to have your grid. You might have dangerous terrain, and I think you have dangerous terrain, and you have an extraction zone. So you're going to roll a d8. When you know what your extraction zone is, if you go back up to campaign assets, left click drag, let's just say it's 7, put it wherever I want, maybe the top right here, and that just says extraction zone. So maybe I have difficult terrain, and I thought maybe I didn't include difficult terrain. I think, yeah, there's different types of difficult terrain. So, but you may have, yeah, you may have I think a few different difficult terrains. I think there's 2. Roll a d8 twice and place 2 times difficult terrain on the corresponding cells. So it might be something like this, right? So I have my difficult terrain, I double click, and it just says, yeah, you roll on the dangerous terrain table to learn what happens here. So then once you have them on here, oh, that might be unique. Can I not copy this? Yeah, that's a unique. Maybe I need to make multiple copies of that. That's good to know. So I didn't intend that, but maybe I'll need to add and have different type, or I can just make it a normal token. So I could make it difficult terrain 1 and difficult terrain 2. But again, once you drag it on here, you can go back and you can find the difficult terrain somewhere. Dangerous terrain. I said difficult terrain, and then roll. And there you go. Make an average strength check to remove some fallen debris. Lose 1 incursion action if you fail. So that's that. You can also, yeah, I put this token in. I'm not sure if it's helpful. This is incursion actions, and it's a little clunky, but you start with 15 and you can count down. So I did this to where you can just, scroll mouse wheel down. So that shows you you're at 10 of 15. Once you get to 0, you die. So that's all of that. And I feel like I'm missing things. Is that mainly it? And then obviously in your journal, like you don't have to keep all this, and you can type in anything you want and keep a good record of your excursion. And I did not show the, you can create maps. So just for your exploration, you can right click, you can add a map or add a blank map, and I can just say test, but you can add any type of map. So if you just want like a white with hexes or a brown with hexes, I can click on that and click OK. And now I can use this if I want to document my, just my exploration. So I can go into that in more detail later. Let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this for now. Is that going to open it back up? Yeah, I want to get rid of these. I just don't want these in the future because I'm going to share this with everyone. The last thing I'll show you is I did create some turn sequences. These are really basic, but if you do want to track your turns up here at the top in this like reddish rectangle, you can say pre-combat, and then let me bring on a map. I'll just do my test map. No, that's not going to work well. I'm going to get rid of my test map, remove it. So let's just do the combat grid. All right, so let's go back here. And there's a way to move this around that I'm not remembering. Show map links, add map links, tilt map down. I just want to move the map. Maybe it's AS. Yeah, there we go. I'm just using my keyboard for now. All right. So now that I have both of these on here, I think I should be able to go to pre-combat and let's just hit start. So pre-combat, I just have some basic information: determine encounter difficulty, surprise, initiative roll. So this is just text. And then once you're done with that, you can say, okay, I'm done. Let's go to combat round. So I go to combat round, hit play, and now it's bringing in, and I can move this wherever I want, but it's bringing in the enemies. So you're up here, your unique character, but then it's also bringing the enemy. So if the enemy's initiative is like 10, let's say yours is 12, I don't know, then it should order it top to bottom, highest to lowest. And now it'll tell you combat round one. I just made, again, very basic PC attack roll D20 modified by strength dex against target damage roll, defense rating, NPC attack, just very basic information. And all this does is you can advance, and now it's the Fleshworm's turn. That's all it does. And I'll have to look. I may not have put in the tables for the attack rolls, but I'll look at that later. So that's mainly it. Probably longer than I wanted, but I wanted to do a really quick video. Let me know what you think. If this is interesting to you, I'll do more videos on it, but I'm going to release this for free after Alex looks at it and let you all play around with it. Thanks so much, and happy gaming all.